Hello and welcome to the show. Rose Colored Classist here, and I just want to thank everyone involved who saved that ejected American pilot. All right, this guy, he was running around in Iran past couple days, hiking up a mountain actually, and they saved him. Thank you to everyone involved. You did a great thing by saving that man. Let's not talk about why you were there in the first place. No, yeah, it's a crazy story. Don't know if you've kept up with it, but this guy, this pilot, he ejected out of his plane on one of those cool chairs, those cool jump chairs. So I'm sure you saw some pictures of it. And he was all alone in Iran. Helicopters looking for him. People looking for him. And, they found his buddy real quick, his co-pilot, and then this guy was just left there. He was just left there running around, hiking up a mountain, and a huge search and rescue operation took place. Thank God. Hundreds of special forces, fucking the planes, the helicopters, they rescued this man under fire. American heroes. All right, 4 combatants dead. All right, brave American guys, we saved them. And you know what? I'm glad my taxes paid for it this time. I really am. Yeah, they saved this guy, and I hope he did try and, give a good line. Say something quippy. I mean, hey, guys, we're doing the war for TV. All right, Ben Shapiro, he needs another cool name for the next military operation. Donnie T needs a nice performance. I really hope you gave a good line. All right, this guy's just standing there. Standing there in the field, wherever he is, looking up at the helicopters. And the helicopter pilots, they should have been recorded with their iPhones, like some fucking ICE agent. All right, they're recording this F-15 pilot stranded, standing out there. And the pilots, they look at him. They're about to save him. And they go, "Hey, how'd you get all the way out there?" And the ejected American pilot, he goes, "Iran." And then boom, CSI Miami music. All right, who's that? Boom, montage. All right, then he comes back, and he's on Jimmy Fallon. We're waiting for him to come back on Jimmy Fallon. And Jimmy, sitting there, he goes, please, sir, American hero, tell us that harrowing story of how you escaped. And then that jump chair pilot, sitting in a cushioned chair this time, he goes, "I told you already." And, big laughs, applause, cue the music. The war must continue. I mean, he's alive. I expect to hear from him quite soon. He better be talking. Crazy mission to rescue this guy. I mean, I hear things were fucking happening underwater. Iranian civilians protected him. Really, check out your favorite news program to stay up to date. But infinite respect to the American military. Thank you for saving him. I really appreciate it. Please don't kill me or make me join you. Really, now, before we get going on this hot pod, it's been a minute, and I would like to take this first opening monologue to blame the pilots for this war in Iran. I just want to blame them, actually. I don't think they should die. I certainly don't think they should be fucking, stranded out there in a foreign country. But I appreciate the fact that they know how to pilot the plane. It's impressive, but let's just say it. Iran war, really bad idea. It's been a bad idea. And I would like to direct a portion of the blame to the pilots. If the pilots weren't willing to go, I mean, would we even be doing anything? These guys, in the Navy, they're like sabotaging the boats. The Marines, they're fucking sending out TikToks complaining about what's going on. We got generals getting fired, speaking out. I saw a general give a fucking interview the other day. He's given the direct phone number to some fucking senator. But the pilots, they just keep going out there. They just keep flying out there. Nothing's stopping those guys. Clearly, a bunch of murdering psychopaths. Pilots. They're pilots. Pilots are notoriously short. I don't know if you know that. They got to be short so they can fit into the plane. And I think these guys are short and mad about it. All right. Yeah, pilots. There's it's the only role Tom Cruise has ever been appropriate for, and they're like more than Top Gun. They're like First Gun. They're the first guys to go out there. And if they said no, but they don't. They're short, and they have a vendetta against the world. These short pilots. They're mad at the world. They want to hurt anybody. I mean, really, guys, given the short guy, the most powerful weapons on the planet, I don't know if that's working out. I don't know if that's working out. I used to do this old joke. It's in my movie, Strange Audience. I made it. Watch it. And the joke, it's more like a plea for sanity. I go, hey, everybody, stop making ugly people powerful. They have a vendetta, and public policy is their form of revenge. All right? And in the same way, having these short people pilot billion-dollar weaponized aircraft, I don't think it's smart. I think they got a score to settle. I think they're trying to even out high school via the plane. Really, God, these guys, they're mad about everything. They can't get a date. I mean, the military people, you think going into the military is gonna help you get a date? All right, and then what? You go and you give them the most powerful weapon on Earth. Big mistake. Big mistake. Respect to the pilots. Please don't bomb me. Really, welcome. It's Rose Colored Classist, topical news, comedy podcast. All right, like it, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, you bastards. No, I have no reasonable schedule to putting out this pod. All right, and yeah, you got to ring the bell. You got to pay attention. I mean, what am I here for? I'm here for some perspective building, comedy creating. Maybe I'll look at things a little funny and be unnecessarily melodramatic about it. Okay? That bit about the pilots, you expect that? Do I even mean it? Really? I do mean a lot of stuff. I mean, come on, guys. We're here. We're doing the internet podcast. Everyone, look to the future. We should be looking to the future right now. And if you're looking to the future and you're getting caught up in the fact that it's not going to be business as usual here on Earth for the moment, hey, get over it. Get over it, because we are under it. We are under the weight of a Ponzi scheme economy, worldwide police state. Really? No, it's Attack of the Killer pedophiles out there, and nobody's safe. Nobody's safe, and unless you pledge your life against it, you're probably working for it. And who could blame you? They're so scary. They're in charge. I mean, gosh, why wouldn't we listen to the people in charge? All right, if you don't, they'll kill me and my children. Right on. Anyway, episode 83 of my podcast, getting a little crazy already, and it's been a minute. Okay, I've been gone for a minute, and it's nice to be at it again. Okay, and sure, I take a while to put out a pod, but I don't take a day off on the news cycle. I'm tumbling in it every day. Just won't stop listening to what's happening, and oh boy, these hot takes are pretty cold. Now, hot take, $200 for a barrel of oil. A year to get back to regular production. Cold economy. Ice cold economy. No, it's so bad. Yeah, whenever, even guys, whenever the war is over, whenever we do that excursion exit, results are inevitable, I'm told. It's a hot take. We're not avoiding anything. All right. Recession in America. Starvation in Africa. Shortages everywhere. I mean, these Asian countries. Is anyone paying attention to what's happened to these Asian countries? These guys, they're getting asked to take shorter showers. Asian people who haven't done anything wrong. I mean, wrong. They can't even take a hot fucking shower right now. Guys, I mean, thank God Asian people don't produce body odor like us Westerners, because they're not going to be able to take a fucking shower. What's going to be happening all over the world? What are we going to go tell the French that they're not allowed to shower? Well, we probably don't have to do that. I think they're way ahead of us on that one. I think they're way ahead of not taking showers. And the French, really, they're taking ahead. Fucking those guys are going crazy. Let's pay attention to it later in the podcast. Oh, I got so many things to talk about today. And I mean, if you think things are extreme, check it. Okay, we're living in a world right now where the secret society that runs everything ain't so secret. All right, they're gonna force us to start rationing oil. All right, it's gonna be hard to remain hidden when you're yelling at everybody to turn off the air conditioning. I mean, we've been talking about it. Nightmare, totalitarian state. It's here. All right, they gotta stop you from making something of your life. Gotta stop you from doing that. They got to stop you from attaining your true power here on Earth. And this time, they're going to use gas. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you haven't been paying attention, about like every 5 years, they manufacture some crisis. First, it was some virus, and now it's gas. How about we just fucking kiss my ass? I mean, here we go again, dude. Here we go again. The economy is cratering. World economy over. It's so fucked, dude. It's not even happened yet, and it's going to happen. God. This world crisis. I wasn't doing too good on the last world crisis, okay? I mean, they had me by the balls with the coronavirus, all right? I had an elderly grandfather, immunologically compromised sister, all right? I was a stand-up comedian trying to make it in live comedy, working as a janitor for a popular restaurant, and I swear to God, they got my ass again. I could not be more fucked right now. Again. I'm fucked again. Dude, I have a process serving business, all right? I have a driving business, secure delivery, whatever. I mean, it was going great, and now what? Now what? They ruin the economy, and I have to pay another $1,000 a month. Dude, I am being forced to give these fucks a fucking influx of cash. They're pumping it out of me. However they can. Every 5 years, just ruining my life. I can't do nothing out here. Jesus, really? No, I mean, I've only been alive for 31 years, but it seems to me like the whole basis of like society and government, all right, is just they're trying to make me poorer, trying to take all my money. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, whatever like marginal social benefit I've received, not enough. Whatever I've paid to the government in my taxes and what I've gotten back, not enough. All right, I'm doing the fucking math. And it seems like they want me dead. It seems like the whole everybody wants me dead and just miserable, right? It's crazy. What's going on in the world? What is going on? I did promise an alien podcast today, and trust me, what I just said, and how the government wanting me dead it's gonna be a big part of that. I'm setting it up. I really planned this one, guys. Really? No. Hey, just before I really get into it, though, just Gavin Newsom, could you end the gas tax on an emergency basis here in California? This is not a joke. I'm using my platform right now. Governor of California, please stop doing the gas tax. All right? I am not hoping for anything more. All right? We're all getting totally smoked out here. Sorry about the state budget. I know you guys are getting smoked too, but stop the gas tax. Either stop the gas tax or, finish all that high-speed rail. Maybe an electrical grid. maybe make the electrical grid not catch fire every fucking year. Jesus. Man, so many things going on. Really, the reason I am late to doing this show, I have a really big episode, but I have so much business to take care of first. Just why I'm late to the show. If you care. Do you even really care? I mean, who's listening? Really? I mean, personally, whatever I say on this podcast, I am doing for the time-traveling human beings who visit this particular plane of existence to amuse themselves. I do the pod for the AI module that's going to get shot into space and then consumed by some caveman on an outer world. But I'm going to tell you why I'm late. I don't know if it's relevant to anything right now, but I'm just going to, personal business. I'm doing stuff. Comedy. Guys, comedy. Really, I'm late because we had a great show. March 27th. It was awesome. Mount More Comedy. I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody for coming. If you were there, which would be crazy if you saw my set and then decided to listen to my podcast because of it. That is nuts. I mean, I just told you why I did it. I kind of dismissed you entirely. But hey, if you did, you're a wild one. What a rush. Culture is so crazy. I mean, dude, you saw me live. You saw me doing stand-up live, and now you're listening to my pod? That's awesome, dude. It's like when you see a band, and then on the ride home, you play their music. Yep, thank you for being a big fan, everybody. Sincerely. I'm sure you're an emotionally well-balanced person. I appreciate you. Honestly, share the podcast with a friend. Have them listen to the podcast for you. Okay? Just maybe back off a little bit. Maintain some emotional distance from your content consumption. All right? I mean, sure, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, but hey, don't attach yourself to me. Don't do it. I know you saw me live and I was real charismatic, and now I'm here on the pod. I just, maintain some distance from your content creators, okay? All right, attach yourself not to me, but to the real issues I'm highlighting. What am I trying to highlight right now? How convoluted and stupid I am. What am I doing? Where are we? Okay, hold on. Yeah, comedy. We had a big show. I did a set. I did absolutely no political content, and people said it was the best I've ever done. Yep, guys who have seen me do stand-up for the last 5 years have said it's the best set they've ever seen from me. That's what everybody says. That's what they tell me. And I don't believe it, personally. I'm going to have to check the footage, and we filmed it. Actually, lots of footage. We made a big production out of the whole show, all right? And we're going to make something. We're going to do it. I've been planning it, working on it. Hard to do the pod when I'm doing so much else. Can't even set the lighting correctly in here. I was the director, not the lighter. All right, I had a director of photography. He's a great kid. We'll talk about him. All right, but I was a director for a comedy special on March 27th, and I'm taking the credit for that. Giving myself the credit, really. No, I'm serious about it. I'm trying to make a film, an Eddie video project. I'm gonna spin it up, sell it. Pour some fucking water in the fryer, see what bubbles up. Yeah, I know, guys. I don't give you any ways to pay me for this podcast. Why would I? Content's not good enough. It's too weird. Too odd. Why would I do that? No, I don't give you a way to pay me directly for my efforts here. But if you wanted to reward me in some marginal way, okay, when the special that we taped on March 27th, when it comes out, support it. Please support it. Do you hear me? 9 viewers. Do you hear me? Support it. 9 viewers. Okay, one of you left. 8 viewers and a cat. Please support the special I make with people and other people. And I'm being funny right now. Yeah, I'm going to make something. It'll be cool. Let's watch it, baby. Yeah. Respect me. On that note, respect me. Yeah, respect me. I mean, we'll be doing more shows throughout the year. Dates are not announced, but we pretty much know the schedule, know what's going to go on. And yes, I do book and produce the show. All right, we made a special. I'm the director. Yikes. Huge problem here. Yeah. So I am booking and producing the show. I'm filtering everything up to the top, which is a reference to the show's promotional lingo. If you know, you know. And this little part, again, before I get into it, before I do my Alien episode, I just, I'm a comedy guy, and I want to talk about comedy. I mean, my whole life is for the fucking comedy nerds, and, if insane current events, weren't happening, maybe I just would talk about comedy. It's tough. Let me talk about it. Let me just give you a little insight on the business, comedy business. Let me illustrate something, all right? Hey, so I am the contact to get booked on a show, okay? And if you're a comic sending me a DM for a spot, please, let's just talk about a few things, all right? If you're a fan and you want to know how these people get booked on the shows in the first place, let me just break something down, okay? Hey, first premise. If someone sends me a message online to get booked on the show, first off, we are online, okay? The online world's crazy. A lot of messages I get are complete nonsense from people. Doesn't even make sense. You would be like weirded out that they were sending me messages, okay? And second, comics. Hey, I love and appreciate the type of person who wants to do stand-up. I do. But let's just say it. They can be really bad and not self-aware. I'm projecting right now, okay? Yes. And third, okay, even if they are like great at comedy, they could be a pain in the ass to deal with. I'm also projecting again. Look, it blows my mind, honestly, booking a show. I'm sure this is how a ton of other people feel. This is why the business is so fucked up. Okay, but it's like when it says to message someone to do a show, that means like, do a submission. Like give me something. Like a tape. Send a tape with give me your credits. Tell me who you are at least. What's the deal, baby? What's so wrong? I'm so like freaked out doing this, handling the comic submissions. It's a great show. I'm trying my best here. Obviously, I'm a wild guy. But look, if you were to ask any booker about doing any show, and then they ask you questions and tell you to do things like, could you give me a formal submission? You'd think you'd try to be understanding, try to follow instructions or maybe ask for clarification. Like, really, dude, I swear, dude, if you're a comic messaging me like a dummy, okay, like you don't know anything, like how to go and ask and be on a show, and when I try and make it clear about how it works, if you backtalk me like I'm like a fucking, like I don't know what's going on here, like I'm dumb for trying to clarify things, I mean, what the fuck, dude? What are we doing here? I mean, yes, dude, I don't want to dismiss anybody's talent. I understand, like, hey, you might be the most commercially successful artist in the whole world tomorrow. Okay? But I'm sorry. If you talk to me like I'm an idiot, even if I am, it's just not the move. It's just not the move. All right? If you're a guy trying to succeed in business and you talk to every moron like they're a moron, I mean, that's like you're an entitled crazy person. I don't get it. And, to be a comic, you're going to have to pick one. All right? Either you're entitled or crazy. All right? God forbid you decide to be professional with some standards of how to behave in a work environment. All right? I mean, I've been kind of talking about it. I'm not trying to be hypocritical here. All right? I'm a comedian. I have a pretty bad attitude. Okay? Don't think I don't get it. I get why, you're trying to put yourself out there and get on a show, and then some guy like me comes back at you with, like he doesn't know you or he wants you to prove that you're worth it. I mean, I get giving some back talk, but look, I mean, I have my own personal problems. You have your own personal problems. This is basic stuff. If you're trying to deal with someone, ask questions, be polite. If you think the other party is wrong or stupid, try and work around it and not cause an issue. Am I crazy? Am I? Look, I just thought these were the laws of commerce. I'm trying to do business here. The whole world's falling apart. What's going on here? I mean, dude, I'm just honestly, I'm just trying not to get fucked with. Okay, get forced to make a bad decision, book some dingbat who shouldn't even been doing stand up in the first place. I mean, it's tough. All right, I'm trying to be, intelligent and nice and hear everybody out. But my point is the world is full of like bad actors and big dummies, and we all got to deal with them. Sort through them, and hey, if you happen to be one, I'm sorry, you're in a bit of trouble. Okay, and you're gonna have to act like you're not. All right, it's lowly. I'm sorry. Okay, I mean, let's just be serious. Real artists who are amazing at stand-up, like they're too embarrassed to even send a DM for a show. All they want to do is get asked. Okay, and the people who do ask to get on shows, I mean, check yourself. All right, I feel like I'm saying reasonable stuff here. I mean, sometimes it's friendly. Like, I know you. Okay, I get it. But can I have the normal stuff? What's normal? Everybody, dude, what's going on here, dude? I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm a crazy person, but I don't know. I feel like I'm saying some reasonable stuff here. All right. I mean, personally, I kind of feel like I got this regular life stuff on lock. All right. Business has arrived. I know how to behave. All right. Surprise. Yeah, I know where the lines are, and I don't get offended or shocked when things happen outside of them. And I don't give up on a discussion. I don't. Unless you send a voice memo, which is legitimately unhinged. Yeah, I'm just, look, man, on this, handling all these messages, from anybody, all the people, for any reason, all right? It's hard, okay? You have to try and avoid a lot of nonsense, okay? I have a dummy filter. I do. I have a filter for people who may not be able to problem solve when I talk to them. If I don't know you, I mean, hey, you may be a good person, good intentions, but if you're not able to navigate some kind of slight confusion without fucking flipping your lid, I mean, I don't know if you got the stuff, okay? Whatever, life is not super clear, okay? So whatever is going on in any particular situation, just have some class, humility, be curt, and figure out what the issue is. try and solve it. Move past it. Yes, I am projecting right now, but I don't know, man. People just keep popping up on me, and it's madness. All right. If you're, these comedians who submit to shows, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's tough. It's crazy. And I'm not maybe I'm not the best at it. Obviously, I'm a talent at heart. Yeah, and I look at my own personality even throughout time. I can, I accept a lot of blame for whatever misunderstandings happen. All right, I'll say it. But whether conscious or unconscious, I find my behavior does elicit a response. Okay, I'm a problem, as they say, and I find personally, how people react to me. It's a good way to figure out how they respond to things generally. All right. I mean, I am who I am. I'm not trying to be whatever way I am, but I got a kick of energy, and it puts people back. I say a lot of stuff. I'm not often right, but through that experience of whatever perceived confidence I have, I think most people would know that if you say the wrong thing, you learn who's brave enough to give you the right answer. You're actually more likely to get the right answer when you say the wrong thing first. Who's on Reddit? Nah, man, comedy is crazy. You gotta have a rough and tumble attitude, okay? And when you get to see people in their state of slight agitation, it's interesting. You see how they perform. I mean, this is ancient knowledge, all right? Ancient knowledge. I'm not being manipulative. I'm assessing. When I'm messaging you about the booking, I'm not manipulating you. I'm figuring out what you're really about. All right? And what's more important in life than figuring out what people are really about? Okay? I'm sorry for being a jerk. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn about people. And there's tons of people to learn about. And you see the types of behavior certain people are on about. I mean, sorry if I don't treat you the nicest. I mean, I just want to learn what's going on. Today might run real long. Okay, really. I want to talk about him. I want to talk about DJT. That guy. Our guy. Donald Trump. An intolerable personality. God forbid he sends me a DM. I mean, brother, what in the world is going on with him? Fucking, is he on new drugs? The same drugs start working again? This guy is coasting, I feel like. The guy, whenever he talks, it's like he's like a buoy bubbling out of the ocean. So there he comes up, whoop, and then he goes down. Whoop. He comes up, babble, 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 whoop, whoop, comes back down. He is just, he's a fucking weird graph right now, man. He's looking like the stock market, really. I mean, this is what he's doing. Isn't this what he's all doing? Trying to manipulate the stock market? This guy, he thinks the stock market's the talk market. I mean, he thinks that if you say enough things, the stock market will do what he believes. But I don't know. I mean, people are talking about it. Is this the only thing he cares about? Money? I mean, I don't get it. That would be a good explanation for the Iran war. Money, right? But I don't see it. I'm not seeing it. I mean, the Dow, dude, we're begging. We're begging for the day the Dow was over 50,000, right? It seems like we've ruined the whole economy. DJT, I don't get why you would do it. I mean, maybe if we didn't look into the Epstein files, the Dow would have stayed over 50,000. All right? If we didn't talk about the Epstein files, we wouldn't have war in Iran, and the economy would be good. Uh-huh. Yeah, DJT, what's he doing out there? He's got rid of Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi gone. Is Pam on the lam? Out of there. Kristi Noem. Jesus, she's out. Knocked out by some fucking knockers. Yeah, check out Tim Dillon's most recent pod. I think he put it out yesterday, the day before, whenever you're listening to this. But, oh, man, dude, I couldn't comment on whatever that situation is if I tried. All right, whatever's going on with Kristi Noem and her husband, don't leave me out of it. Don't want to get into it. I mean, the only thing I'll say is that it is pretty weird that the DHS secretary's husband is into being a hermaphrodite. It's weird. I mean, it certainly doesn't help that whole argument that everyone in charge is worshiping Baal. Right, Pam? Pam Bondi? Oh, man. I mean, we'll get to it today. We'll get to all of it today. I'm going to go crazy. This pod is, I mean, will I get to 2 hours? Who knows? But yeah, these women, they're out of the Trump administration. Why? They got too old. These women, they were in the last years of their viability, and they had to leave. No, whatever. DJT going off the rails. Going off the rails. No idea what he's doing. He's probably just firing them because he's feeling erratic. I mean, Donnie T with the speeches lately. Speeches. I mean, this guy's giving orders about the Iran war like I order fucking pizza. He's just sitting there. Do I want one war or two? One war or just an excursion? Just one. No. Make it two. No. I want pepperoni. Is that there? No. It already had pepperoni. Wait, I have to pay a toll for the pizza to get here? Come on, you close at 10. I didn't know you'd do that. No one ever expected the Gulf states would close at 10. I mean, you just delivered to my neighbors in Israel. I don't know why are you paying me a toll? I don't get it. Never expected you to do that. No, I would have ordered earlier if I knew that ordering pizza now would be so weird. Oh, I did order it earlier at midnight. I was hammered, huh? Yeah, but right. Okay, yeah, 3 pizzas. We're doing 3. We already have the pizza. We actually have it here. Actually, no, I don't even... It's in the freezer. Why am I even... We're victorious. We have all the pizza we need. It's victorious. We won the pizza already. Actually, I had it the first minute I called. I didn't know why I called, really. I mean, I did call, so let me figure it out. Let me get some pizza for my friends. Let me get some Iran war for my friends. Come on. I'm gonna get them. My Asian friends really need the Iran war right now. I'm gonna send my Asian friends over. They're gonna pick it up. Is that okay? No, actually, no, bring it here. Actually, I want it. I needed it. Actually, I had it the whole time. Instead of dollars, can I pay Chinese yuan for this pizza? Is that cool? Well, it's not even for me. I don't even need it. It's for Europe. This pizza's for Europe. If you want the pizza, you're gonna have to get it yourself. You have to cherish it. Yeah, this it's a complicated order, and you know how much those guys love pizza. I mean, it's sad. It's sad what Donnie T is going on about. He's just talking. You know, he's alleging war crimes or committed war crimes. Does it even matter? I don't even know if it matters. But he's yapping. He's saying a lot. Okay? It's so crazy. Donnie T, he's out there saying that he's negotiating with Iran. And Iran comes back out there. And they say they're not even talking to him. We're saying they're not even talking. I mean, hopefully, like the war, it's like, you know, it's already balkanized and the warlords just aren't communicating, and hopefully we're talking to the strongest warlord. But otherwise, this is pretty embarrassing. They're not even talking. I was watching Joe Rogan, like I do, and yeah, Joe, he's right about the big headphones on your ears, because these earbuds kind of bother you after a little bit. Big fan of Joe, actually. I mean that. I mean it. Joe, he had this hilarious bit on his podcast. He does bits. I don't know if you pay attention to it. And I'm into comedy. I hear it. And he's doing this really funny bit. Okay? He's not a bought off stooge. All right? I know that you were thinking. I'll defend Joe in a second, but let me talk about his funny podcast. Okay? He's making fun of Trump, saying that he's negotiating with Iran and how Iran denies everything. Joe's like, he pretends to do like a phone call with some random Iranian. Like he's pretending that Trump's talking to some like random fucking Iranian guy. It has nothing to do with the war, and he's just fucking, you know, trying to get something out of him. Yeah, Joe, he's like doing the accent, like, I want oil money. I have missiles. I need oil money. Is this a Russian accent? I don't know. Joe's great at voices. He's amazing at voices. He's one of the best comedians in the whole wide world. And I mean that. Especially when you factor in voices. I'm not doing it justice, but I'm just, you know, Joe's really funny. Okay? People are talking shit about Joe, and he's really funny, and you should stop. He actually, you know, maybe even think of a bit. You know, what's funny about all these Middle Eastern languages right now is that when you hear them talking, you can't tell if they're speaking or doing a death rattle. Joe Rogan inspires me. No, there's a lot of hate on Joe right now. Dude, what's going on here? My hero, please stop. Please stop dismissing my hero. Okay, what the group of people out there, they're calling him dishonest. They're saying that he's a Fed? That he's working with the government? I mean, dude, Joe Rogan is not a shill. All right, Jamie is not his handler. He is not working for Elon Musk. All right, take it from me. Take it from somebody inside the comedy community. Bro is a complete idiot. He's actually dumb. You think he's working for anybody? Too dumb to do it. All right? He's dumb, and like anybody else, is just trying to have a safe and happy life for his family. He's a complete moron. Joe Rogan, complete moron. It's why they've allowed him to get the notoriety and success he's had. All right? But they only gave it to him because he's clueless, high as fuck, clearly concussed. And like a lot of other people, doesn't want his family murdered. He's a funny guy. He really is. I believe it with my whole heart. But actually, dumb. I mean, guys, he's a comedian. He's definitely an idiot. All right? I talked about that earlier. Okay? Everyone getting around on Joe. I can't handle it. I'm gonna step up for Joe today real hard. This whole podcast is gonna be Joe Rogan after this. We have no idea. A couple clips before that, but no, they're all blaming Joe for misremembering where he was during the Charlie Kirk assassination. He's talking to Theo Von, and he's talking about the assassination, and Joe was like, "I was hunting in Utah," and everyone comes in jumping on him, saying that, in fact, he was podcasting with Charlie Sheen when it happened. All right? But hey, listen, when you podcast with Charlie Sheen, it is an out-of-body experience. Okay? Joe was in his happy place. All right? Yeah, sure, like in physical reality, Joe was speaking to Charlie Sheen, but in his mind, he was hunting in Utah. Okay? He was just doing his best. Trying to be zen, okay? He's just sitting there podcasting with Charlie Sheen. He's trying not to ask him if he really did drink Corey Feldman's friend's grape soda. Okay, he's just sitting there going, "Don't ask Charlie Sheen about locking that lady in the closet. Don't do it. Remember your bow. Think about your bow. Don't ask too many questions about AIDS. You're in your happy place. You're in Utah. You're hunting." Joe, literally trying his best. I don't know what you guys want. All right, we have more important morons to deal with. All right, back to Donnie T. Is he a moron? I want to play some Chinese propaganda right now about Donald Trump. Now, there's this guy. He's getting a lot of notoriety, a lot of popularity. He's an interesting character emerging in the American media. His name is Professor Jiang. He's predictive. He's history. Guy is interesting. It's interesting shit what he's talking about. He has this little idea about what's going on with Trump right now. It's so confusing. All right, I guess, I mean, I hear these like he's like the number one guy for some people. He's like the number one guy. This guy might be his own Joe Rogan. Okay, this podcast is getting off the rails. Please, just play the Chinese propaganda already. Let's do it. Watch it.
Okay? All right? So again, I understand Trump is an idiot. Trump has launched America into this stupid war in the Middle East. Trump has pissed off NATO. Trump has pissed off all of America's allies. So he's a retard. But if the goal was to destroy the American empire, destroy the global economy, and rebuild America for the benefit of Americans, then Trump is a genius. And he may go down in history as America's greatest president. Okay?
Okay. All right. Hey, I appreciate using those filler words. All right, my whole podcast is fucking chock full of them. All right, if he's doing it, can I do it? What a hero. Isn't he so entertaining? He seems to be the man. It's an interesting idea, right? Because, Trump is destroying the world. But once the world's destroyed, we can begin anew. It's interesting. It's a pretty great interpretation of what's going on. I mean, because none of this makes sense if you wanted the world to stay the same. If you wanted to be, wanted America to be in charge. Yeah, maybe he's doing it's like a triple con. He's doing the triple con here. Yeah, it's interesting. All these actions could make sense. But only if, right? And what is the if, right? What is that if? What is that factor that could really, shed a light on all these insane happenings and have you understand them as actually practical, right? Let's play more of this propagandist. All right, I'm going to play more of them. It's a little bit long. I'm really getting into it. It's a little bit long. We're getting into it. Please, let's lay out the possible worldview.
You've argued that Trump is not the most powerful person in America, and you've inferred that actually the real power base is Israel. Explain that.
Right. So I actually don't say the real power base is Israel. What I say is that the real power base are a collection of secret societies that have an eschatological view of this war. And these secret societies include the Freemasons, which are now called the Rosicrucians and the Knights Templars. They include Jewish organizations called the Sephardim Frankists, who are embedded in religious movements called Shabbat Lubavitch. And then you have the Jesuits. You have a collection of secret societies. And they believe that a war in the Middle East would start a process that would culminate in the end times and the return of Jesus, the arrival of the Jewish Messiah, the building of a one world government. They have different eschatologies, but a lot of their time frames do align. So where they converge is that there has to be a war in the Middle East to kick things off. This war in the Middle East will lead to the defeat of the American Empire, and this will lead to the culmination of the Greater Israel Project, where Israel is able to control the Middle East from the Nile to the Euphrates. Once the Greater Israel Project is in place, it will transform into the Pax Judaica, which is an AI surveillance state. This will eventually lead to the war of Gog and Magog, the destruction of the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the building of the Third Temple, the return of the Jewish diaspora to Jerusalem, and the arrival of the Jewish Messiah or the Antichrist. So they have the scripted out. And unfortunately, a lot of world events are conforming to this script.
Right. I mean, a lot of people say a lot of what you've just said is a load of fantastical baloney and driven by anti-Semitic tropes. What do you say to that?
Look, I completely sympathize with this argument. 5 years ago, I would have said the same thing about this sort of argument and thinking. So what I do is predictive modeling, okay? Meaning that I'm going to throw some theories out there. And then based on these theories, I'm going to extrapolate into the future and see what the predictions are. If these predictions are correct, then my theories ought to have some legitimacy.
Super simple stuff. Right, guys? Now, kind of stopping talking about DJT, kind of moving on to what I really want this podcast to be about today. Again, I promised like a worldview building episode last week. Here I am trying to do it. Okay, and this Professor Zhang right now, he said something really powerful at the end, right? Just, maybe he has theories, and over time, hopefully they prove to be true. Therefore, you can trust him, right? And I hope the same for myself. If only my theories prove to have legitimacy. Actually, let me put out a theory right now. One Kyle Gridley theory, number one, talking about the future, see if I'm right about everything. Protein soda will never be popular. Really, who's drinking that shit? What kind of maniac are you, where if you still want to drink soda and then think adding protein is going to make it better? All right, how would you even put protein in soda? All right, plants would dissolve inside the soda. Okay, cops literally bring Coca-Cola with them to clean bloodstains off of asphalt. What do you think is happening in that protein can of soda? That's my theory. If it becomes true, then you can believe everything else I say. Sorry, comedic distraction. Now, back to the propaganda. I let him talk for a while. Hopefully you're not too distracted, okay? Because this guy, he's laying it out thick, all right? And he's Chinese. I call him a propagandist, okay? I mean, does that mean you shouldn't believe him? If you think about it, this order of, organization of the whole world, maybe he's illustrating what communism was fighting against the whole time. Maybe the Chinese were fighting the fucking pedophilic oligarchs this whole time. Who knows? The SOPs, baby. Who knows? All right. Although I will say, if you pay attention to communism, it may have already been created by those people as a false conduit for the hatred and fight against their totalitarian sick empire. But anyway, I'm just saying that yes, he's Chinese, obviously a propagandist, and look, he's saying what he's saying. At the end of the day, you know, if he represents the government of China, fine. Okay, all governments are evil, and just because this guy spits fucking straight dope doesn't mean I want to be part of the system he's a part of. Okay, I've said it before. I am a libertarian fascist. My political policy is that every individual becomes their own police state. Okay, that's what I believe. Move on from that. Maybe I'll talk about that again later. Look onto some previous episodes. Let's just hold these groups that the Chinese propagandist mentioned in our heads for a second. Okay, let's just, as I lay things out, let's just hold on to the idea that secret societies run the world. Let's just believe that. All right, you have trouble believing that right now? Okay, let's just believe that they're there, that they're running it, okay, that they have an end game that they're working for. All right, think about what their goals could possibly be, and then consider the events that take place in the world. Okay, I have a lot of pod left. I really do. This is already trite, but I'm gonna keep running it. Okay, and it's important to hold on to these people for a second before we get into really what's going on. All right, if you think about them, hopefully it answers a few questions that pop up as I start laying out this particular worldview. Now, just to get a little more info on these secret groups, I want to put out this proof point. Candace Owens brought up this week, trying to understand the nature of these secret societies. Yes, the Chinese propagandist and Candace Owens are talking about the same stuff. And am I wrong? Who's wrong? Who's wrong there? Who's Wong? Okay. Just keep going. We'll learn more, really get into the truth, okay?
I'm really just on it, guys. I don't know what to say. I'm just so good at puzzles. And look, I get it. A global Freemasonic cult of military assassins. On the surface, maybe it sounds a little out there, a little unhinged, but that's only if you are not paying attention to real world history. Unless you have to wake up, okay? America was, in fact, founded by warring factions of Freemasons. Freemasons pursued America in the hopes of establishing a new Atlantis, which was going to be removed from their battles with the Catholic Empire, who were kind of burning these Freemasonic psychos at the stake, as they should have done. Americans are not used to the discussion about Freemasonry, so this all felt very new, and I feel like people weren't really ready to have this conversation because we go to public school, we're told, like Paul Revere, they don't tell you that he was like a Rosicrucian Freemason, but he was like, the British are coming. He factually never actually said that either, but that's the reality. The founding fathers were all Freemasons working on international orders. I'm sorry if that doesn't sound like rah, 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 USA, but we have to wake up to this because you have to understand how this country came together and how things have been functioning since. You have to understand internationally what has been going on. And when we are speaking about 33rd degree Freemasons, we are not talking about your grandfather's Freemason group. Well, they got together, they did nice things, they did things for charity. No, we are talking about the highest rank of Freemasons, and 33rd degree in particular is the Scottish Rite Freemasonry, okay? And this part is really important. I actually only recently learned this thanks to my book club. If you were in my book club, you would know this. But the Scottish Rite Freemasonry actually originated in France, okay? It was after Jacques de Molay, we would say Jack de Molay, was hung or burned at the stake because the French king was looking at what the Knights Templar were doing, and the Pope had dissolved the Freemason group because they were accused of worshiping Baal worship, doing all sorts of weird sexual rites. All the stuff that we are establishing today is actually happening with the elites. Jeffrey Epstein type stuff was going on. This has been going on for a very, very long time. And so they left France and they went into Scotland and they fought for Robert the Bruce, and eventually this ends up in America. That's the short and thick version. You should join the book club. It's fascinating. So this article today was definitely something. The French AP broke it. They broke the story regarding a trial that is taking place where the quote-unquote Freemason Lodge Mafia is facing charges for attempted murder. Oh, the Freemason Mafia. I feel like that's global. Let's read from this article, which came out in The Guardian, because it's just peachy, okay? It reads, quote, 22 people have gone on trial in France on charges of murder and other serious crimes centered on a Masonic lodge accused of running hit squads. 13 defendants, including former intelligence agents, soldiers, and businessmen, face possible life sentences. Prosecutors allege that the group carried out murder, attempted murder, aggravated assault, and criminal conspiracy on behalf of a mafia network inside the Athenor Lodge in the Paris suburb of Puteaux. At least 4 Freemasons from the lodge's roughly 20 members are among those in the dock. Other defendants include 4 officers from France's DGSE Foreign Intelligence Service, 3 police officers, 6 executives, a security guard, a doctor, an engineer. Most of the accused, whose ages range from 30 to 73, have no previous criminal record. You mean to tell me upstanding businessmen in society could be accused of murder and coordinating murders? What? Oh, I'm so offended. No, there's no way. What do you mean millionaires don't do these sorts of millionaires don't do these sorts of things? Yeah, they do. That's sometimes how they become billionaires and stay billionaires, because they murder people. Gotta wake up to that.
Oh, man, I could listen to her all day. I kind of do. 4 hours every fucking week. I will not pay for her book club. I'm going to pay to read? What are you talking about? Candace Owens. There you go. Just as I build towards the worldview, again, keep these people in mind. There are secret groups who murder people. Huh. That's an explanation for a lot of things, huh? Yeah, they're in positions of power. They have agendas, and they kill people. Now, Candace, I mean, she's not exactly laying out the particular hierarchy that I'm about to, but, we got to point it out. When we have limited data, all right, in reference to how this world actually works, murder and leverage, these small little glimpses are important to note and, lean in on and try and glean as much information as you can, because, again, they're secret. They don't tell us. Right on. I mean, look, I bring up Candace. I haven't brought her up in a while. I mean, if you wanted me to make some current comment about Candace Owens, I mean, what? She's right about everything. That's what I'm going to say. She's right about everything. She's top showbiz talent. All right. She's independent journalisming. She's journalisming so hard right now. She used to be part of the big power base, and now she's turned against them. That might need a little more information. I mean, but what are you going to say about her? I mean, she talks about the stuff everyone knows needs to be talked about. All right. She's talking about it all the time. Not next week. She's off next week. But look, I just, I hate to say it, whether you like this lady or not. I mean, I'll lament it all day, but fact is, people like Candace, I'll even mention Mr. Rogan again, who's coming up in a second. I'm going to play a lot of clips of him in a second. You're not even ready. Okay. These types of people, who are, they're the only real viable leaders we have left. Okay. All right, these people who are front-facing, whose brand is honesty, but, they display a broad thinking. They've already got money. They don't have any weird financial investments. They seem to be pathological, curious, suspicious. Maybe, they got a real thing for joy. And obviously, they're driven to find answers and, let's just say it, are able to casually dominate others. I mean, those two. There's other people who fit that description. I mean, we've known them for a while, and we could easily learn more about them, but they need to be out there leading us. Okay, I mean, Candace from the chair, where's the real movement? Where are we really going? Who we voting for? Who we not? Who we supporting? Who do we defend? These guys, they won't tell us. Can't tell us to do anything. What, they're going to be indicted or whatever? Why don't they? That's the thing. Why don't they? Because, Candace said it herself. I just said it. These guys are murdering people, okay? I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but there's been a few more UFO expert killings and disappearances lately, even since I covered it last week, okay? And if you think these things are coincidental, accidental, I mean, I just showed you. There's groups out there right now doing murder for hire, okay? And while, hey, man, the independent media, we all expect it. The time we get a little bit of proof, it goes a long way. Right. So, again, back to this long pod I'm doing, all right? Establishing it. All right, there's groups out there that are supposed to be secret, killing people for a specific agenda, and, we're forced to guess and infer about it. This is all going to go back to aliens, though. Again, I promise. I'm just setting a lot up before we do that, okay? Just in case you start to ask yourself questions like, why don't we already know this? Why isn't there more evidence? Okay, I mean, I'm going to try to tie it all. I'm going to try to tie it all in. I will. Okay, but just let me lay it out. All right, inputting all the sources I have, and just keying in onto the fact that we don't know things on purpose. There are things kept from us. I'm going to have to triangulate. All right? I'm going to have to triangulate on how I'm doing the hand sign, guys. Secret society. I mean, look, we have very recent historical events that are like, all of a sudden just unraveling in front of us. We're all seeing it in new light. And every time the events, they spell out fucking corruption and secrecy. They're like, false flag to mysterious assassination from, capitalism to, fucking slave markets. I mean, all along, they've been poisoning our media, educational institutions. Coincidentally, too, on the timing, they did it after World War I and II. Okay, and I'm gonna lay out a worldview here that may be shocking, but at this point, it seems pretty serious. Okay, I mean, no one has to agree with me. Why would you agree with me? What I'm gonna say is completely insane. What I've been saying hasn't been too right either. Okay, here's my point. Here it is. Okay, we have in the world like big geopolitical situations, and when you try and find the underlying motivations of the certain figures and actors leading them, there's a certain path you can take to interpret these events. All right? And that path typically would have been considered conspiracy theory. All right? And, conspiracy theory, the term that was invented by a certain CIA director. Who is that guy? Really? Who? No, the path. This is the point. This is the worldview so far, okay, is that we have an elite secret society protecting and hiding important information about the true nature of humanity, spirituality, and technology. And what we see happen in the world is like a shadow or a like two-dimensional projection of whatever's really going on. Okay, and we're here in a moment. It's a big moment. Modern times, all right? We have everything we've learned from the Epstein files as we move closer to alien disclosure, all right? As our technology balloons into some fucking incomprehensible thing, all right? The reality of our situation here on Earth, to me, becomes very clear. All right. I don't know if you know, but we have fucking, powerful technology right now looking at ancient human ruins. All right. And they're observing like mind-bending facts that break, the entire narrative about the origin of humanity and even, the nature of our religious beliefs. Worldview's crazy right now. All right. We are at a moment where the origin of humanity is in like deep question. Okay. And when that's in question, it's all in question. Which brings me, finally, after what have I been doing here? Has any of this made sense? Because I'm finally at this place where I'm gonna bring the first level of my worldview of the argument that I'm really setting. Foundational, all right? What it is the current existence and creation of humanity. All right. Whenever we're talking about why we do stuff, what does it really matter? What's really important about it? Why we're here in the first place. Okay. So I'm gonna play a Joe Rogan clip. I've been teasing you all night, all day, all morning. What time is it? It's 5:49 Sunday. Easter. It's Easter. Oh, talking about religion today. Okay. So we have a story about the creation of humanity, and they're spread amongst various religious texts, okay? And they all give us the same basic story, specifically, involving the flood myth, all right? It's literally found in everything, okay? And it details a relationship between us and higher powers. So, again, Joe Rogan, his podcast is about to do some heavy lifting. Let's keep in mind that little secret society discussion I just had, all right? So let's turn on Rogan, give him some flowers, strap in. It's a long clip, okay, but it's important information. So please, let this bald fuck just shine on.
Stuff together, specifically talking about these ancient tablets, which are, to me, some of the most interesting things about ancient history, particularly what came out of ancient Sumer. Yeah. Ancient Sumer, when you look at their tablets and, like, what are they saying? And why would they dedicate so much time to talking about this stuff? Exactly. Why do they have pictures of giant enormous people-looking things with like a humanoid with a tail sitting on their lap? Like, what is this? Just fiction? Yeah. Like, why would they detail this? And how do they have a representation of the solar system with the correct amount of planets and relatively the correct order and size? It's not exact, but it's an artistic version of the real thing. Yeah. And how the hell 6,000, 5,000 years ago do they know that? Yeah. And what explanations do we have? Like, what's the conventional explanations when people tried to dismiss what they knew in ancient Sumer?
Well, the conventional explanation is always going to the term mythology. They throw mythology around, left and right to cover up the fact that they have no clue or idea. So they turn it into mythology so they can kind of say it's all fantasy and fairy tales, and this is how they express themselves or how they understood the universe. It's all mythology. It's all fake. But in reality, it's not all fake. These people left behind such detailed records and information. It's a time capsule of information on stone tablets for us today to be able to decipher, break down, and understand, and that's what we're here to do now. If people were supposed to be trying to worry about how they're going to get their next meal, shelter for the night, and all these kind of things, who has time to sit down and write these incredible works of art like the Epic of Gilgamesh, for example? Yeah. So I think they really were writing down, and also they were transcribing information that was given to them by these quote-unquote gods with a lowercase g.
So when you're reading things like the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Epic of Gilgamesh, for people who don't know, is one of the oldest versions of a lot of the stories that you hear in the Bible. Very similar to them. There always seems to be a great flood. There's a few heroes. There's angry gods. There's a bunch of stuff going on.
That information was copied right from those tablets and put into the Old Testament of the Bible. And so, not exactly like it's going to go from here to the Bible, but it went to other ancient papyruses and scriptures and so forth. And then later on, when it was discovered in caves, people took those and then said, okay, we got to put this into a book. And then it became the Bible much later, around 100 A.D. These people interacted with beings in some way, shape, or form, and that also this information is so incredible that it became part of the biblical text.
Is there any references to anything that's similar, like Anunnaki-type characters, the Nephilim, or anything like that in the Dead Sea Scrolls?
They show up everywhere in the Dead Sea Scrolls, in the Enuma Elish, and the Epic of Atrahasis. Of course, even in the Bible, they're known as the Anak, A-N-A-K. We were grasshoppers in their eyesight, it says in the biblical text. So no matter where you go in any culture, you're going to discover that these beings, in some way, shape, or form, engaged mankind, brought knowledge, teaching, building techniques, and just so much more wisdom and information, esoteric wisdom, alchemy. All these things came from these people.
So the craziest version of this story is that they genetically engineered us out of lower primates and put us here to mine gold.
Yeah, that's the story. And now when I started looking into this gold thing myself, and here's what I came up with. So when you start analyzing the text, you discover that there was an encampment in a place called South Africa at Adam's Calendar. Okay. Now, at Adam's Calendar, there's actually the very first gold mines discovered. They're dating them back to about 200,000 years ago. Now, in the tablets, it talks about the fact that the Ijiji, who were the working class Anunnaki beings who were cleaning out the Euphrates and Tigris River so they can create irrigation and create a bustling civilization. Also, they were doing the actual construction themselves. No people needed, just them working. They were like the construction workers, and Anu and Enki and Enlil, these leader gods, were like, the foremen, the master architects and so forth, right? The boss. So these people were working, but they weren't supposed to be enslaved. They were volunteers. They got tired of doing the work, according to them, for about 250,000 years of labor on Earth, and also, according to them, on Mars. This is in the text. They call it Lamu. And so they decided to go to war against Enki, Enlil, and Anu, because their demands had not been met. So they went to meet them in the Epic of Atrahasis. They go to Adam's Calendar. They go to that same structure that was discovered where that gold mine is located. I was like, holy crap, there is some link here to gold. Specifically, exactly, I don't know. But I know if you're an advanced civilization, you need gold. And the people that you have working it for, you probably think, it's to adorn or to adorn yourself or in recognition of the gods. So they'll wear it and they'll utilize it, but not for technology. But what's crazy is they go to war, they go to get ready to go to battle, and then Enki says, I have an idea that will stop this war. There's an existing being on this planet, existing, not something that doesn't exist, existing. We can add our essence to it with a slain god. So they're talking about taking the DNA or genetics from one of themselves and mixing it with the DNA of the hominid that was here. It's not specified whether it was, an ape man or anything, but they don't specify in the tablets. But to create a worker being. And they began to do this genetic modification, probably disconnecting some of our DNA, making genetic modifications to us to get us to take orders from them. They inserted something called a worship gene, which was just discovered recently, that human beings have a gene inside of them that can be turned on and turned off. It can be turned off in a laboratory setting. It can also be turned off with a magnetic field around your head. And when it's off, you don't want to worship anything outside of yourself. You look inside, and when it's on, you look to get something from the outside. So this is incredible. They made us worship people.
Gene
yes.
inside of us to make us worship them. Right. How genius.
That's incredible, because then you're not a slave anymore. You're doing this for the honor of the gods.
And for people who think all this talk is really crazy, I want to put into perspective that we talked about this the other day, that during which war was it where the Soviet Union was experimenting? It was scientists in the Soviet Union, correct? They're experimenting with creating a chimpanzee human being hybrid that they would probably send to war.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, very simple stuff. Don't get too crazy about it. Yes, I believe everything that was just said. All right. It's super clear to me that aliens came down. They were mining our Earth's gold, got tired, decided to take our asses, fuck with us, and make us into ferocious worker slaves. And now we worship, the aliens who are our gods because we were programmed to do so. Is that not a worldview? Am I not am I not epistemologically sound right now? Look, I'm not trying to tackle the creation of the universe right now. Okay, I'm not trying to address that, there's some possible super entity of, love and justice or something worse that everyone talks about. The guy who put the sun and the stars. But I'm just right now thinking about human creation. All right, you hear the story that I can't think of his name right now. I'm going to call him the black guy. That the nice gentleman, that his story he told, all right, you think that, and does it really sound so different than the story of Adam and Eve? I mean, what are they talking about? Does it really sound so different? Think of either of them as metaphors or allegories or whatever. And as long as you know who the specific characters are, I think they're pretty much the same story. Yeah, Adam and Eve, likely the alien gods that gave us our genetics or whatever. God, I sound nuts. But look, I'm just saying, the fact that, these stories are somewhat ubiquitous around all cultures. I mean, it's definitely a big reason why I believe that that's the way it all went down. I mean, even just to go back into some comedy-based content, the movie Religulous from our beloved, ever current and popular Bill Maher, that movie details how the story of Jesus had shocking similarities to a bunch of other, ancient Mesopotamian religions. The idea of a deity coming down, suffering, rising from the dead, at the time, just super pop culture. Everyone had a story. Everyone was trying to do it. It's like a Labubu. Everyone trying to copy it, like the Funko Bots, trying to make something like that for themselves in the story. Anyway, I'm trying to be funny right there. That wasn't very good. But, I mean, the point of what I'm trying to say is that the story of Jesus, maybe it's not that it's not true or didn't exactly happen the way it happened. Maybe it happened multiple times. The story of the creation of man is similar throughout all cultures. And, chalking that up to mythology or coincidence, it seems wrong. I mean, I think you could take the story as a rendition of real events that happened. All right, like how they're talking about. I mean, I've never been a Bible literalist, as you can tell, but the lesson or truth of whatever they're saying in that moment right there, it's up to you at what level you want to agree with it at. But as a story about how, humans, came to be here, I mean, does it sound so outlandish? Maybe that's actually what happened. I mean, you count in alien disclosure, which, I've been talking about podcast after podcast. You count into that, weird occult secret society religion that I mentioned earlier. I mean, this particular story of human creation, it sounds, gets a little fucking real, right? And if it were real, what would be the point, right? How is it relevant to our lives at the moment? Well, I mentioned technology over and over again here. Truly, the advancements we're making in tech, it's the only thing that actually, matters right now. And, the idea that I'm postulating along with Joe and, Ben? I call him Ben. It's not my uncle, Ben. This is regular Ben. And I think I'm so close to his real name. I really do think that. I guess, the thing we're postulating that these ancient beings or gods created us, you go into the stories of the Bible, ancient text, stories of Plato. I mean, Candace mentioned Atlantis in the clip I played before. And, there's always these, direct references to a group of people, beings that are us or hybrids or the aliens themselves. And there's references to them being more advanced, them living longer, and having crazy types of powers that seem like magic mythic fucking stories. All right. And all we have left of this time are these ancient tablets. All right. Monuments. Structures. All right. They're the only possible proof points we have left. And I did do a little segment a few episodes ago about, the Babylonian ancient technology. But let's have Mr. Hancock and Joe again highlight a possibility of the true nature of this type of technology, of these ancient monuments and structures, and perhaps explain why it's all evading us.
I think the key thing is we're looking at technologies that are not the same as ours.
Yes.
And that's partly why archaeologists can't see them, because they're looking for us in the past, and they're not open to the possibility that there are whole other kinds of technology that could be used.
Right.
I always go back to the ancient Egyptian traditions that speak of priests chanting as these huge blocks were lifted into the air. Were they using some kind of sound effect, some kind of use of sound that was able to manipulate matter? We know that sound can manipulate matter, as a matter of fact, but they're lifting these blocks. Again and again, it appears in ancient Egyptian traditions. The notion that we could lift huge blocks with sound seems absurd to archaeologists, and yet it's there in the traditions of the Egyptologists. And what Randall's talking about now is people who are working on a whole alternative path of technology. And maybe that's a rediscovery of the kind of technologies that were used by a lost civilization.
I think that's what's important about what you're saying, is that we have this very limited idea of technology based on what we've experienced.
Yeah.
But if you had anatomically similar human beings that lived for thousands and thousands of years.
Stuff just keeps on getting older.
If you think about the amount of progress that we've achieved as modern humans just in the last few hundred years, if you go back 400 years to now, it's a stunning amount of achievement.
Absolutely stunning.
And if you have a completely different path of technology, one that's not utilizing internal combustion engines and cranes and the like that we experience
leverage,
today.
Mechanical advantage, everything that our tech is based around.
Something that's insanely advanced, tens of thousands of years of a different path. And that may be what we're looking at.
And that may begin to explain these otherwise inexplicable monuments that have survived.
Jamie, do I need... There we go.
All right, I am having a little bit of fun with these clips. The Joe Rogan Experience, it's minimally produced. How could he ever be up to anything? Right, okay, so again, going back to it. All right, we have these ancient beings and their technology. They're transferring knowledge, and that's connected to ancient ruins. All right, and I've gone again. I'm explaining myself over and over again on this podcast. I have talked about phones and displays being like the witch's Black Mirror. I've played Alex Jones talking about the elite CIA's crystal-looking fucking ball glass or whatever. And again, Candace Owens and Tower of Babel. I mean, we have those secret societies observing an unknown religion, and over time it's becoming more known, but let's just say whatever they're doing is like just as mysterious as these ancient religious texts, as the ancient structures, and the deeper meaning and what really pulls it together for me, connecting like the secret society to this sort of weird interpretation of creation connected with the ancient monuments. What really puts it together for me is Jeffrey Epstein's temple, the famous temple. Okay, he had this big fucking temple there on the island, attributed to some problematic ancient god. All right, he had that weird sun circle on the island. All right, I mean, come on. I'm going crazy with explanations, but you try and do it, and if you don't say something that's incredibly kooky, hey, I'll give you a free coupon to one of my future sponsors. All right, look, when you have one of those powerful people on Earth, like most practical and effective operators to ever exist, all right, having renditions of these ancient mythological sites, and when we talk about those sites, they have some kind of like alien origin, fantastic technological origin. I mean, it's not a good sign. All right. I mean, these guys, they're obsessed with fucking power. They're creating unfathomably powerful technology, like, as I speak. Okay. And they just seem to be following this path laid out through the ancient texts, illustrated through the, ancient structures. I mean, that Chinese guy, okay, I bring him up again, but he talked about eschatology, all right, whatever plan is considering the end times. I mean, connecting it again, like the occult is obviously ancient. I mean, isn't that the whole point of it? Like the traditions that have been going on for as long as, there's been writing or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying like whatever the elites think is like the correct interpretation of spirituality, but it seems to me that whatever they're doing, it's far more based in material fact than whatever modern religious spiritual truths are out there. I mean, these guys are the most powerful people on Earth, and they have all these like weird proclivities that connect to ancient religion. All right, and when you look at ancient religion, it connects to some kind of like insane space odyssey. It turns your fucking head, man. Right? And so where are we? Where are we right now? Okay, first, aliens created us. Aliens are more powerful than us. There are secret groups in charge of the government, and they seem to believe something like pretty much what I just said. Okay? And then what's that final thing that cinches it all together? Because when we talk about the government and the secrets that they keep, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? All right, what topic has become completely fucking unhinged, even as the Iran war is happening. Fucking aliens, man. I already talked about those UFO people getting murked, but this topic has been on fire ever since the nuclear bombs dropped. All right, I'm not going to mention Scientology right now and whatever those people believe, but this is, it's all becoming a problem. All right, we have the elites believing in ancient stuff. The elites are keeping the secrets when it comes to UFOs. All right, they're doing the Iran war right now. Iran, which is, a place loaded with ancient history, with a culture of, continuous 5,000 years. Who knows what they have? I mean, what are we doing this all for? It seems like, if their aliens are real, then we're probably doing everything for the fucking aliens, man. I mean, we have military brass coming out, talking about it. Fucking Congress people saying crazy shit. All right? And then we have all these, ancient stories that sound pretty fucking alien. All right? We have stories now that sound pretty fucking alien. All these videos. I mean, how crazy it is for me to, try and pull it all together and, give you a fully baked worldview on it. I think this is how it actually all works. And just to sink in the aliens being real part, okay, I'm gonna put on more JRE. I'm gonna do it. He's the hero. He's the one who did it all. He's why I'm here right now. I'm gonna put on Hal Puthoff. Putting on the put off. Okay, now there are a lot of people to bring up to prove aliens. All right, there's that fucking French guy, Spock the Jacques, valet for the spacecraft. Fucking whatever that, he's a good one to bring up. But I like bringing up Hal because if you don't know, watch the whole pod. I mean, just fucking put it in the search bar. You'll get JRE immediately. All right, Hal, he was part in charge of the remote viewing project funded by the government. That thing where, human beings have a natural ability to perceive facts and details from a faraway place only based off of minimal location data and time. That thing. It's proven to be true. And I like this guy because that's just like that dimension of humanity that seems spiritual. So Hal, he was on the JRE before he died. Thank God. It's much appreciated. Let's have him just give you the straight dope. All right, complete confession right now. Alien spacecraft are fucking real, and you can't do anything about it.
These crashed crafts, do you estimate there are that human beings have recovered?
More than 10.
More than 10.
More than 10.
How many of them are in possession of people in the United States?
I meant more than 10 in possession of the United States.
What about worldwide?
Anything that could be potentially helpful to an adversary in this area, we're not going to reveal. That would be a mistake. So
how do these things keep crashing if they're so good? If they can get here from somewhere else, why do they slam into the desert?
Some of them have just been left in the desert, not crashed.
Some of them.
Some of them have just...
I talked to Diana Pasulko about this.
Oh, okay.
And she refers to them as donations. She said that's how they were described to her.
Yeah, so in fact, maybe some of them are donations to help us accelerate our forward motion. Or maybe they donate something here, something in China, something in Russia, and see who is best at moving forward,
right,
just as part of their ISR evaluation of us. I mean, let's face it. We've had, as is known in the public, we've had UFOs come over our missile silos. One at Malmstrom Air Force Base that Salas has talked about, Bob Salas. They turned off all of our missiles. Said no way it could be launched. In Russia, there's even a worse case. They started the launch sequence in Russia at a missile silo, nuclear missile silo, and the people at the location could not stop it, could not turn it off. So they thought, we're World War III is about to stop. Fortunately, it was turned off. So anyway, you've got two things.
So whoever was doing that, whoever was manipulating it, turned it off.
That's right. So there's a big question. There are two ways to look at that.
Right.
They're friendly and benign, and they just want us to know that if we get too frisky down here and think about having a nuclear war, they can stop it. Or they might not be benign, and the armada is on its way, and they just want to test that they can stop our use of nuclear weapons against them. So it's, from a security standpoint, and from a DOD standpoint, from an intelligence community standpoint, you always have to have the worst scenario in your mind.
Right.
And see where you go.
All right, well, there it is. I mean, look, if you're not going to believe that guy, what can I tell you? If anyone out here, doesn't believe aliens are real, I mean, that's the clip, right? And I picked this clip again, in specific, because while admitting that there's spacecraft, alien fucking spacecraft within a particular government's possession, I mean, that's one thing. But to say that multiple governments have it, and they're left for us to find, who knows how long they've been there? That thing correlates to the ancient ruins again. I mean, Hal and Joe, they're like suggesting that the aliens are giving these pieces of technology to different groups of humanity. For what purpose? What, to push them forward, to test them? I mean, I've talked about it before, but that idea correlates directly to spirituality. I mean, life in every religion, it's just some fucking test, right? I mean, the implications of death notwithstanding, which is when all this starts to really get wild. But, just to even like fathom the possibility that these aliens are pushing us or testing us, I mean, does that not correlate to you, the idea of God? I mean, and then again, we add in all the like secret sex that I've been mentioning all pod. Sex, not sex, but they're doing that too. All right. The people, those guys who could and would interact with this, alien phenomena, the ones that seem to be making the decisions, concerning our access to them, well, they're the most powerful people on the planet. All right. And like that fucking, fact alone, that everyone is compelled to a level of silence. I mean, how could you not think it's true? How could you not think it's true? I mean, and they are who they are. I mean, we eventually have to find them, but to think that either they're like fucking lucky and they just happen to have the best job on earth where they get to know the truth because they worked real hard, or, the idea that they're remnants of some ancient alien bloodline, that's a different question entirely when it comes to whether we get to really know about aliens. But they're real. They told us. How much more we learn? I mean, let's just wait on it. So, winding up, summing it up. I hope I did a good job today. All right, I put up these 3 pillars. Okay, we have 1, the secrecy of power. All right, 2, the mystery and possibility of the creation of man, and then 3, the current revelations of alien existence and its obvious ensuing technological arms race. All right? Those 3 things are the main ways to explain all current events. Okay? Okay? I'm Chinese, right? I'm just, personally at least, I'm just in a place where all religion is real. Okay? Creation, divination, the idea of, some other realm of existence. They're more than probable theories at this point. I mean, they may be the only, explanation that encompasses all the facts. All right? Yeah, even like fucking science is under the umbrella of whatever like divine order or power that I'm mentioning. And yeah, I guess it's not my grandfather's fucking definition of God. But, it's all real. And it's sad to say, but we're maybe like a flawed creation. And our gods may not even be the most powerful gods in the universe. They may just be, you know, a bunch of fucking aliens who are as lucky to get life as we are. And, you know, they're on some fucking psycho experiment. I mean, it's sad, but that doesn't change the fact that they're in charge and can smite you. I mean, we're hoping for the best, right? I mean, you talk about the more hopeful religions. You know, the fact that any religion seems to be true is what's bothering me the most. But, you know, we look at the most positive ones, and maybe we do have access to, like, you know, the true, most powerful, practically omnipotent, interdimensional ancient alien space god. And in fact, he did send his son, Jesus, or Osiris, or Gilgamesh, or whatever. I don't even really know the stories. But, you know, basically, they're an alien, and they're human, which maybe we all are. And he died in a multi-dimensional symbolic death to give our souls a chance to escape this evil experiment. Maybe our soul's not really our soul. It's like a, you know, just a different interdimensional plane of existence where our consciousness is. All right. Maybe there are aliens out there vying for control of our soul or whatever interdimensional energy it is. Okay. And maybe whatever God you subscribe to, that's the heaven, that's the hell you're going to. All right. We may have a multidimensional afterlife. Give it up for polytheism, everybody. You know, the occult, they seem to worship Satan, and maybe Satan, #Lucifer, is like actually the son of the ultimate power. And the explanation we get in the Bible of who Satan is in relation to the world is accurate. And, you know, all those guys are fucking super powerful because of it. All right. And maybe it doesn't mention important details like he's an alien, but, you know, this is what it is. It just is what it is. All right. And there are tons of other figures in religion and other religions that you could call Satan. So, I mean, what's more to talk about? Okay. That's just my worldview. So things happen. I put it into that filter. That's what's going on here. And I feel like I have enough evidence to back it up. And hey, I'm going to give it up for Joe Rogan for providing, you know, this access and information into these topics that, you know, make sense to me. All right. I mean, what? I hate it. These guys, they're going out there saying Joe is some kind of plant. I mean, I just showed you 3 clips in a row of this guy. All right. I showed you the people he's having on and the reactions and his passion for the information. Okay. And it's obvious. He's not a plant. He's a short old man who's in over his head. Okay. And like all short men who fucking, you know, have a problem, what he really should have done was hop in a plane and bomb some fucking place in the Middle East so we could destroy the world economy. I blame the pilots for everything. The pilots are the guys telling us about the aliens in the first place. Fucking pilots. God damn.